Alright, hello ladies and gentlemen, Jadis Joe here once again, back with another discussion video. This discussion video isn't about The Division, but at the same time it is, because The Division has this gameplay in it. But anyway, I want to talk about something like that shared world Dark Zone that Division has, where you go in there and, you know, it's the Wild West. There's players being bad guys, players being good guys, players trying to, you know, sneak by without being noticed to get gear and stuff like that. And it's the first time that I personally as a player has experienced something like this. I've been told, and I've done some research on there, where there's other games out there that's done it. I think H1N1 or H1Z1 has done it before that, DayZ or that Armada mod. They did it. And it's a really interesting concept that I have been following for a while, just actually haven't been able to get my hands on the game because my PC is horrible. It's actually held together with duct tape right now. But to actually experience it for the first time with The Division is pretty amazing. It really got in my brain, and I enjoyed it. And a lot of PvP first-person shooters or arena shooters I don't enjoy, but for some reason I enjoyed this setup. And as I said before in a previous video, the reason why I really enjoyed this setup was simply because it was an ever-changing, dynamic situation. You know, it wasn't just go in there and capture the flag. It wasn't just go in there and kill other players. It wasn't just go in there and, you know, collect loot or fight NPCs. It was all that you could do at any given time if you wanted to. That which I really enjoyed, and it's not a survival game per se, but the way they did the Dark Zone was it really kind of put you in a survival method. If you're a lone player and there's 3 other players, you kind of want to hide and make yourself, you know, scarce so they don't turn rogue on you, especially if you're carrying gear. But the whole reason why I'm interested in this type of gameplay or interested in this concept is because it's really a stepping point, in my opinion. I say my opinion a lot, but it's my opinion. It's really a stepping point into a new type of gameplay, a new, you know, I don't want to say genre, but a new way to play a game outside of, you know, having story missions or having little NPCs with question marks over their head to go get missions. I mean, right now it's pretty chancy from what I've seen. A lot of people like it, most people hate it. At least what I've read and some interviews I've seen is people aren't really too crazy about this, not amalgamation, but this fluid PvP area. Most of the hardcore PvP FPSers love the fact that you go in for a capture the flag or a team deathmatch, and that's what you do. Not too many of them enjoy having a ever-changing situation for you to play in. However, me, as you know, as me, I really enjoy that in a game. But this is, as I said, this is a stepping off point for maybe a new type of game to be explored. A game where there is no, you know, quests or no missions or no NPCs, but a game where the system like the Dark Zone or the system like H1Z1 has in play. Really, it's about the character living in the world, not so much about the character going off on an epic quest or doing epic things, but just the character itself living in the world. And I think it's a real cool concept that we are close to achieving, or we at least are close at, you know, experiencing or experimenting with. Because, you know, it's great to sit there and run around the world and, you know, hear a story and to experience a story and to do great things and do awesome things. So everybody loves to be the hero. But at the same time, it's also interesting to think about what happens if you're just a character in this world. And the world doesn't have any quests. It doesn't have anybody to sit there and tell you what to go do. And, you know, Minecraft is a big example of it, even though I'm not a fan of Minecraft. But Minecraft is a big example of a type of game that puts you in a world and gives you stuff to do in the world without actually telling you to go and do it. And even though I don't like Minecraft, it was still a very interesting concept, a very concept that I'm very, very keen on, is placing a player in a world and saying, here's the world, go and make of it what you will. And especially with the Dark Zone PvP area, if you made the whole world like that with that mechanic and gave characters, you know, bases to build, or gave players, you know, bases to build, you know, territories to take over and stuff like that without actually giving them quests to go and do it, I think it would be a really interactive, a real intuitive gameplay experience. Something that I would love to do, because, you know, some of these games get pretty preachy and pretty bossy when it comes down to you doing the quest mode. It's like, oh, here's a quest, go do it. Why? Because there's nothing else for you to do. But have the game open and free for the player to do anything that they want within this world, within the mechanics of the Dark Zone, would be awesome. Now, there's a lot of people on the other side of this fence that say if you give players too many choices or too much freedom to do all this stuff, really they end up doing nothing. But that's really, it's fair, but at the same time, it's not fair, because you really do nothing in Minecraft, but yet people have spent hours and hours in Minecraft doing nothing, building what they want to build and doing what they want to build. To say that they're doing nothing is really unfair, because they technically are doing something, but just because they're not having a story told to them or they're not leveling up doesn't really mean they're not doing nothing. So it's a whole ideology thing that players have, whether you like that sort of thing or you don't like that sort of thing. But I guess my question is, what are your theories, or what are your feelings on having a Dark Zone H1Z1 or a DayZ game that's open, massively open world? You know, you can kill other players, and there's really nothing for you to do other than to live in this world, whether it is, you know, survival or, you know, base building or, you know, taking over territories and stuff like that. Is that something that the gaming community would be interested in? Is that something that players would flock to? I know one thing YouTube has taught me: if you have an idea, if you have something that you like, chances are there's a bunch of other people out there that had the same idea and had the same likes as you. So I know there is a market, but it is for a game like that, but is the market big enough that a company would actually, you know, chase after it and make something like that? But once again, love your comments. Please comment on this. Tell me what you think. If my question was broad and vague, also let me know, because I'll go back and I'll edit it. Right now I'm just kind of brainstorming, talking to myself. But as always, I'm Jadis Joe. Thank you so much for watching. Like and share and subscribe if you deem this video quality enough to do so, but more importantly, have fun and be safe. Thank you so much for watching. And shut off. Shut off, I said.